Risk number 4 addresses the legal pitfalls. The first legal pitfall is hiring the wrong lawyer. There are about 1.2 million active lawyers in the U.S. Since 1985, the number of lawyers increased almost 10% faster than the U.S. population. Now, choosing a lawyer amongst so many is a challenge because really, at the end of the day, how do you know how skilled they are? A national survey showed that only 31% of people were happy with their lawyer's performance, which means almost 70% were unhappy. And the number one reason why 7 out of 10 people would not recommend their lawyer is poor communication, which includes not keeping them informed, being unresponsive, and not listening, as well as setting unrealistic expectations that simply didn't pan out. It's important to avoid working with a lawyer who can't say no because, quite frankly, it's an underestimated liability. When your lawyer agrees with everything you say or promises you the world, it should be an immediate red flag. There will inevitably be areas where expectations need adjustment, or you'll be in for a rude awakening and ultimately disappointment. When your lawyer doesn't establish proper expectations, your litigation can be long and costly, only to end up with a result that, quite frankly, could have been predicted from the outset. Another example is when a general practitioner takes on a family law matter. Family law is complex, and just because they can represent you doesn't mean that they should or that they'll be effective. One such negative effect is overlooking the future issues that need to be addressed at the time of divorce. These can be major pitfalls which only become apparent much later. You should pay particular attention to your lawyer's communication from your first interview on, which is a key indicator of their behavior and approach. In real life, the angry, hostile approach that lawyers portray on TV actually works against your best interest. The litigation as war mentality makes divorce and child custody an escalating series of attacks and counterattacks that can skyrocket the cost of legal fees. Poor communication, especially inflammatory communication, can set you up for further pitfalls. And escalating tensions and inflaming volatile emotions is not helpful for the health and well-being of all involved. Additionally, conflict can take a toll that lasts a lifetime on children. And this kind of approach is also noted by judges. It has been our experience that judges do not appreciate grandstanding. Superior Court Judge Holly Avery-Whetstone noted a case where legal fees and costs had skyrocketed because the case took on an intense emotional tone. She stated that counsel's behavior was immature, boorish, unprofessional, disrespectful, and inconsiderate of each other and the court. In fact, during the trial itself, the attorneys were asked to circle the courthouse on foot until they cooled down. And in the judge's view, the trial could have been completed in less than half its time, if not for the over-aggressive behavior of some of the lawyers involved. Now, a lawyer must persuade a judge to their way of thinking with every interaction they have, and their ability to persuade is significantly undermined by a negative perception. Because of the human element and all of the surrounding emotions, clients can sometimes misunderstand a lawyer's actions, which could be to their detriment. Sometimes, a table-banging lawyer who disputes every minor detail can be perceived by their client as thorough. You might hear people say, "Boy, I'm so glad I have a lawyer who fights so aggressively for me." What you may not understand is that some parts of the law are black and white, and unnecessary motions guaranteed to fail simply drive up costs and brand you as an unreasonable person to the judge. These type of theatrics are sure to agitate the other side, making it more likely they will respond in kind. If every minor issue is a battle, the possibility of losing what you really want is significantly increased. And at the end of the day, is it worth it? The best lawyers fight hard when it's time to fight, but keep things reasonable and amicable if at all possible to serve your best interests.